Hello, how you doing, and welcome to the video. So this video is going to be the start of my shredding series for the summer. I'm going to call it the IBIZA BOD shredding series because I don't know about you, but I'm going to IBIZA this summer. I need a fucking holiday. So if you don't know me, my name's Bradleywalkr. I'm a personal trainer from Glasgow and an online coach. Okay, so I specialise in getting you ripped and looking your best. So as I say, this is going to be a shredding series, okay? So I'm basically going to focus on getting shredded as fuck for summer while still trying to look big. Okay, so the last series I kind of done there was locked up, and that was all about being in lockdown, basically training through lockdown, right? But this one is going to be a countdown to summer, getting shredded, because I know we all need that fucking holiday. So why am I doing this? So the main reason I'm doing it is so you can learn how I get shredded, what I do to go and try and get as lean as possible for the summer, for a holiday, or whatever it may be, right? And then that means you can also follow along, do what I'm doing to go and get yourself shredded, okay? So obviously everything I'm doing isn't going to fit you exactly, but there's a few things that basically apply to pretty much everybody that you can implement on yourself. Thought I'd show you how I do it, just so you can basically learn for free what to do to go and get shredded, and then hopefully I'll even see some of these in IBIZA super shredded. You'll be like, Brad, I followed your series and that's just me, I got in the best shape of my life, right? So I would love for that to happen. It'd be amazing. So hopefully you follow along and get shredded like myself. Another reason I'm doing this as well is to document my progress. So I've never properly documented my full kind of cut the way I would like to, like the training and the actual physique itself, the diet, how I felt, etc, etc. So throughout this, I will basically be documenting kind of how I feel, what I'm doing, how it's affected me, etc, etc. I thought it'd be good to have to also go and look back on, and again, maybe somebody in the future can come look back in this series, watch it and get shredded as well with me. Plus, I would really like to motivate you. I love getting people up and ready and going and changing their life, right? A couple of my clients have had a total turnaround in life, and it makes me feel amazing when you do that. So I want to do this for more people, just to help motivate you all, right? But I kind of want to bring the whole fitness scene more to Scotland, mostly Glasgow now, because that's where I'm trying to hit, but I want to bring it all to Scotland, okay? I want to show Scotland how you can live a fit and active lifestyle and just generally be much happier, okay? I find most people who train are a lot more satisfied in life. They are healthier, they feel better about themselves, they look better, and they enjoy life much more, right? Okay, so what's this kind of downfall from training? I don't know, right? Okay, so I feel living that lifestyle is something that Scotland desperately needs, because we live in an area or in a place in the world where the diet's so unhealthy, a way of life that's so unhealthy, it's terrible weather outside, so people are less active, and just Scotland needs to get fitter. So hopefully I can help inspire a couple of you get fitter throughout this, okay? So this series is going to be roughly about 12 weeks long, okay? So that's how long I'm going to diet for, 12 weeks. I might take it into a 13th week just so the videos go 12 weeks long, okay? But I've actually been dieting already for a week. But anyway, I'm just going to show you exactly what I want to go and do. But anyway, I want to just go and show you exactly what I want to do. You've not missed much. The first week has just been a case of kind of getting into the swing of things. I will cover that as well. Again, the main goal for this shredding series is to get as lean and as big as possible, okay? So I have been lean before, but I feel personally I've kind of sacrificed some size. This time round I want to focus on being as big as possible, while being as shredded as I can be, but the main goal is to try and actually hold the size this year and look as big as possible, okay? When you're leaner you do actually look a lot bigger for whatever reason when you have your top off, but when you have your clothes on you actually feel pretty thin, and that's something I've always kind of felt myself. When I diet, I've dieted too hard and I've kind of lost a bit of size, so the main goal this time round is trying to keep as much size as possible. So I can sit here and rabble all day long, right, but I'm just going to kind of give you a brief introduction of what's going to be in the video, and then that will come up next, okay? So in this video I'm going to show you my training split, so my resistance training and my cardio, tell you exactly why I'm doing them. Then I'm going to show you how I set up my diet, so my calories, macros and whatever else is in there, and how you can kind of do the exact same. I'm also going to show you my kind of starting point, so you can kind of see yourself where I start compared to maybe yourself. And it'll kind of give you a realistic kind of idea of what you can actually achieve in these 12 weeks naturally, okay? What I mean by naturally is when you don't take steroids, because a lot of people take steroids to do this sort of stuff, and the results can kind of be misleading sometimes, and also sometimes kind of disencouraging, I guess. I don't know the right word for that, but demotivating or whatever, because they have these unrealistic results and you kind of want to achieve that yourself, and then you go and achieve your results and you're not happy because you don't have these crazy results these people have. Again, I'll kind of show you my goal, I'll cover my goal overall, can I go a bit more in depth for that, and then I'll show you my kind of week to week goal and how I basically kind of keep on track and get the most results possible. But anyway, before I kind of ramble on any longer, let's just get straight into the video. Hello again, right, so let's just get straight into this. So the first thing I'm going to cover is going to be my training split, okay? So my training split is going to be pull, push, pull, push, As well as that, I'll also be doing cardio once a week. At the moment, I might actually increase this at one point later on, deeper into the cut. Reason I'm kind of doing a cardio 1 time per week is because firstly, I've got a goal for this year to complete 1 cardio session every week. As well as that, doing cardio is just going to also kind of keep you healthier throughout the duration of your sort of cut. As well as that, it kind of adds, I guess, a couple of extra calories burned, but I don't do cardio just to focus on burning calories, okay? It's mostly for the kind of health benefits I'm doing cardio. So there you have it. I'll be training 5 times per week, 4 resistance training sessions and 1 cardio session. So right now, obviously I'm training at home. When the gyms open up, I'll actually change my training schedule to include legs in there twice a week, so I can kind of get the size back in them. Just kind of so you know, before lockdown I was actually having a good bit of progress with my legs, and then we went straight into lockdown. I was chasing that 120 kg squat. Inside the gym's got shut, but hey ho. And next up we have diet. So diet, in my opinion, is probably the most important factor to when you're trying to get cut. Okay, so basically trying to get lean, you need to be on the ball with your diet. If you're not on the ball with your diet, you're literally just pissing in the wind, hoping for the best, and you're not going to achieve your results. You need to be in a diet. You can't out-train a bad diet. You can actually get lean without training and just have a great diet. But anyway, let's just get straight into the diet and what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to be doing with my diet is going to be counting calories, okay? Why do you count calories? To again ensure you're in a caloric deficit. Being in a caloric deficit will make sure you are burning fat. So how do I find the calories I need to be doing? What I do is I find my maintenance calories to start with. So right now I know roughly where my maintenance calories is just from dieting so often. So roughly my maintenance calories is about 3,000 per day. Again, just because I'm super active, I train frequently, and I guess I have quite a high metabolism as well, which is also great. But it's also not great sometimes because I can eat like fuck. So dieting is usually where I struggle. I can put on size relatively okay, but when it comes to dieting, man, I can just eat and eat and eat, so it gets hard sometimes. It's a bit of a mental battle for myself. So the calories I'll be eating will be roughly about 2,700. So to start with, I will kind of use this figure to start with, and then if I need to make adjustments, I will change it. But I'm going to kind of try and stick with the 2,700 right now and kind of see where I go from there. Next up, I'll then have my macronutrients, okay? So I've got my 2,700 calories. Now I need to decide how I'm going to get the calories in by splitting up the macronutrients. What I mean by macronutrients is protein, carbs and fats. So with protein, carbs and fats, again, these are important to focus on for a multitude of reasons, right? But how I kind of basically explain it to be nice and simple is, if you can imagine, the calories are what dictates whether your weight goes up or down, and the macronutrients basically help dictate what your body composition is, okay? So for example, if you're in a caloric deficit but not eating high enough protein, you can lose a lot of muscle mass and weight, but you maybe not look a lot better because you've kind of lost muscle and fat at the same time. Whereas if you're in a caloric deficit eating a high protein diet, you'll then lose more fat, and then that'll give you a more ripped look, okay? So basically the macros, again, control the body composition. The calories control whether your weight goes up or down, right? And that's a very simple way to explain it. That's not the be all and end all, but it's just a simple way to help you understand it. So with the macros, again, you've got your protein, carbs and fats. In my opinion, the most important one to focus on to start with is your protein intake. So to start with, I'll eat roughly about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The second most important macronutrient, again in my opinion, they all are equal I guess, but in my opinion the second most important one is going to be your fat intake, okay? So if your fats get too low consistently, it will actually drop your kind of hormone levels and your ability to train, recover, the way you feel, and so much more things will just kind of be off, okay? So you want to make sure your hormones are kind of optimal levels, the best they can be. Fats help control that, okay? But roughly I'll be going for about 60 grams of fat per day as a kind of minimum. As a maximum, I'll probably go to about 80 grams per day. Again, this is just a kind of number I kind of find that works best with myself. And with my carbs, what I'll do is I'll basically sort that on MyFitnessPal, so I have the amount of protein I need, the amount of fats I need, and then the rest will just go to carbs, okay? Carbs again are important, they don't make you fat, all that sort of stuff. They are important in your diet, but again, to me, they're the one that can kind of get took away or added on with a bit more freedom, and not going to cause any major health issues straight away. So when I'm doing this, when I'm tracking it all, okay, so with my 2,700 calories, I'll give myself a bit of leeway, a bit of fluctuation in there. I can maybe go about 50 calories over, 50 calories under. If it's a wee bit over that, I'm not too worried, okay? I do have these fluctuations to start with, and I'll not let that worry too much. And then again, further down the line, if I need to, I will adjust these. So the first thing I'll adjust is I'll take away calories, and then most likely take away some carbs. From there I'll keep my fats and proteins around about the same, and then later down the line I will actually up my protein to help me kind of burn more calories while I'm eating due to the thermal effect of food, but I'll explain that in a later video. Another thing I will be kind of doing, so to start with, when I'm tracking my diet, I will be tracking it with MyFitnessPal, and the kind of dieting method I'll do is if it fits your macros. Basically meaning, as long as you eat within your calories and you hit your macros intake, it's fine. Whatever you want to eat, you can just eat within then. You have a bit more diet flexibility, so one day I can have a different dinner, and maybe a different breakfast, different day, and I'm not eating the same thing every day. So that's how I'll start off my diet, if it fits your macros. If there's any questions on that, comment them down below and I'll be glad to go into it much more. And then later down the line I might actually make myself a meal plan, basically just to kind of help with the focus, so I know exactly what I'm eating when I'm eating. So that's basically how I'm going to set up my diet to start with, and again I will just make changes if I need to and how I kind of feel. So that's what I'll be going in, and I guess the last thing I'd mention, I've just got to really focus on getting my 5 a day in. It's the main goal of mine now, is to get that 5 a day in. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's my diet. Next up we have checking progress. How do I check my progress? I check my progress in 3 ways, and I get all my clients to do the exact same. First thing I'll check is my weight. Then I do measurements and I use a progress picture. Okay, so progress pictures to me are probably the most important, because at the end of the day I'm kind of doing this to see how my physique looks. I'm not doing it to chase a number on the scale, and I'm not doing it to try and have a certain size of bicep. Okay. Next up we have my goals. So what is my goal? To get as lean as possible while still maintaining as much size as possible. I want to look as big as I can while being as shredded as I can. Okay, it's just something I really want to work on this year. I'm not too worried about being as lean as possible at the sacrifice of losing size. What I'm focused on the most is trying to look as big as possible, well, with the kind of best conditioning or the lowest body fat as possible. But again, the main focus is more about keeping the size this year, as well as having my overall kind of goal of trying to look as big and as lean as possible. I'll also give myself weekly goals, so this is something new that I'm adding into myself. It's something I give with my clients. These weekly goals are going to basically help me stay focused and kind of give me short-term things to chase. So each weekly goal will alter, and I'll actually just make that up for that week, depending on what I need to work on the most. My weekly goal, again, is going to change week to week, or depending on what I need to focus on the most. But my first weekly goal was actually to be 100% consistent on my diet and training. And last week I actually failed in that goal. Yes, believe it or not, I failed in the first week of my diet. Didn't do too well. I had a day where I kind of went off. My wee brother had these amazing cookies, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try them. After it, I wasn't too happy with myself, but at the end of the day, I'd done it. So I just have to move on for them, and I've set myself the same goal this week to ensure I go and achieve that. I want to be 100% on my diet and make sure I get that, because it's something, again, I've kind of lacked on myself. I've had these wee moments where I'm saying, oh no, that won't worry, or I can get away with that, etc, etc. But this time round, I'm going to be super focused and do it like the best I can. So with my goals, always trying to set kind of positive goals. Okay, so my overall goal for these 12 weeks is to kind of obviously focus on the way I look, which I don't personally find a healthy goal. What I find a healthy goal is focusing on improving your training, or focusing on improving your diet somehow, and focusing on improving your habits, all that sort of stuff. Nice positive goals. So my goals week to week will be focused on nice, what I would kind of call positive, healthy goals. They won't be on to get a bigger bicep, to get a bigger back, to get a bigger chest. It's going to be focused on things that I can control, that are positive, and that are going to make me better overall. So to kind of round that up, I would say set yourself some goals. Set yourself a long-term goal, a short-term goal, and a medium-term goal. So that can go 12 weeks, monthly, and then weekly. That's a good kind of way to split it up, and these will help keep you on the ball a lot. It's all good saying I want to be shredded by the time I go to IBIZA, but you might not get there by just saying that. Next up we have what to expect. Now of course I've done this before, so I kind of know roughly what to expect, but let's just say if you're new, this is going to be what you're going to expect when you start a diet, a cut, or start to get shredded, whatever you want to call it, okay? So you're kind of going to notice different things, kind of weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever it may be, okay? So week to week, you're probably going to start to notice small differences in yourself. So the first week of a diet, you tend to notice a lot of weight dropping off very quickly, and that's mostly excess water weight. That will start to slow down the kind of less water retention you're dropping, but it's just kind of one of the things, okay? And then maybe after like 2 weeks in, you'll start to notice maybe a reduced bloat in your stomach. 3 weeks in, you'll maybe start to notice that you're feeling better, and it can just kind of go on from there. 1 month in, you start to notice kind of how the results are starting to pile up on each other. You're kind of starting to kind of feel maybe the more effects of the diet, okay? So maybe you're starting to notice your cravings of foods. Maybe you're starting to notice your physique is looking noticeably thinner. Maybe you're starting to feel a lot more energised. And as the kind of months go on, again, you start to kind of notice your results compile on each other. In fact, I'm just going to put up something on the screen right now while I'm talking about this, and that's going to be what I kind of tell my clients to expect over the kind of case of 12 weeks. So I'm just kind of leave this up here while I'm kind of talking away, and kind of by the end of the 12 weeks, of course, you'll notice a massive difference in your physique, and again, overall, how exactly you feel about yourself. Maybe you're feeling more confident, maybe you're feeling fucking sexier, I don't know what it may be, but you'll feel feeling better about yourself anyway. Hello people, so I've just finished training, the camera cut out as I was kind of finishing up that wee point. So basically the end point was, if you don't have an end date in mind, it's essentially, you'll essentially be less productive with your time, in my personal experience. So for example, if you say, I just want to lose weight, you don't have a goal weight you want to lose, and you don't have a date you want to lose it by, you'll start, and then odds are you can just give up saying, this is taking too long, blah blah blah, I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, etc etc, right? Whereas if you say, for example, I want to lose 2 stone in 12 weeks, let's just say, if by halfway you know you've not lost a stone, then you can say, right, cool, I need to make changes to then make sure I reach my goal in the designated time. And then once it gets to that end time frame, like that's sure you can't go any further and that's it done. So it kind of makes you commit much more to the goal and make you work harder towards your goal. So it's important to have an end date. That's the importance of it. Make sure you give yourself an end date, and your body will need to rest from it at one point as well. Right, and the last kind of wee bit of this I want to kind of round up is some questions I got. I basically asked if there's any questions anybody has on my Instagram story just about getting shredded, getting cut, etc. And these are the questions I got. Right, so the first one is, people think that burning calories and burning fat are the same thing. So that's not a question, it's more of a statement, but I'm assuming it kind of means to explain that, okay? So yes, burning calories and burning fat are not the same thing. Burning calories will help you burn fat, but burning calories alone does not help you burn fat, okay? So for example, you can go out and do a run and burn lots of calories, but if you're eating too much, you'll still not burn fat. On the other side of that as well, you could maybe do lots of activity, burn lots of calories and not eat enough, but if you're not eating the right amount of food and the proper food, you can be burning into muscle mass as well. So it's quite easy to lose muscle mass well in a calorie deficit. That's why it's important you can do the proper training and proper diet to help maintain muscle mass, okay? So you can be burning calories and not burning fat, and that's a great question from young Christopher. Chris has also got an Insta if you ever want to check him out. His name's Chris McConville Fitness _. He's a good lad, Chris, and he knows his stuff. The new kid on the PT scene, so shout out to him. Next question we have is from another PT, Kyle Ritchie PT. Shout out to you as well if you want to find him on Instagram. Speak about the healthy amount you should be losing per week. Some people think losing 2 kg per week is good, okay? So this is another great question that I should have probably included in mind, the rate at which you should lose fat. So your body can only obviously lose so much fat per week. It's going to vary from person to person, so if you're heavier, you can lose a bit more fat per week. If you're thinner, you can't lose as much fat per week, okay, because your body kind of holds on to it because it knows fat is there for survival. Just in case you're ever wondering if the reason for your body fat is for back in the day when it'd have been hard to find food. Instead of you running out of energy and just dying straight there and then, your body would tap into its fat stores, your stored energy. Food is just energy, that's why you have your fat, right? Okay, so I would recommend a good amount of fat to lose per week, or a good amount of weight to lose per week, is between 1 pound to half a pound per week, okay? So the first couple of weeks of a diet you're going to lose a bit more, most likely, but then if you're losing, say for example, and has 2 kg every week, that's not going to be good for a multitude of reasons. First of all, it's going to be really, really hard to sustain. Your body's going to be really, really starved, and there's going to become a lot of health issues from that as well. And losing 2 kg per week is probably mostly just water weight. So you get people that go on like the Atkins diet and they lose a stone in 3 weeks, and then as soon as they eat food again, they gain weight, right? Okay, so it's all about slow and steady wins the race. Obviously you don't want to be going too slow where you're not making any progress, it's measurable, but slow and steady wins the race, and I find that's personally best for losing fat and maintaining more muscle mass. And the last one is for my boy Martin Pollock. Does having a lower fat consumption actually help with losing fat? So I'm going to answer another question, because somebody actually asked me another question related to that, and I'll speak about this in a second. Right, okay, so what he's meaning is, eating less fat in your diet, is it better for losing fat? And the answer is no. As we discussed this earlier, what determines whether you lose fat or not is your calories in versus calories out. So if you're eating in a caloric deficit, you will be burning fat. But if you eat very low fat, for example, that doesn't speed up the fat loss process. It'll probably actually damage it, because if you're not having enough fat, you won't have proper hormone balance like we discussed, and much more things. So lower fat consumption does not help you lose fat. So for example, you get people go on the keto diet, which means basically a lot of protein and high fat and very low carbs. So they have a lot of fat. They probably have about double the fat I usually have in a day, and they still lose fat perfectly fine. I think keto is quite hard to sustain because I just enjoy carbs, but it still is doable. So no, lower fat consumption does not help you lose fat anymore. Another just kind of wee topic, slightly laugh at, is you see all these fat-free yogurts and fat-free snacks that are all marketed to be dieting snacks, and they basically blow smoke up your arse, right? They kind of make you think, oh, there's no fat in that, I only gain fat if I eat it. But realistically, it's the calories that make you gain the weight, right? Okay, so if they're usually low in fat, the odds are they'll be high in sugar or high in carbs, so don't get tricked by that. Another question I got kind of similar related to that was, does having a lower fat composition, meaning fat in your body, actually help with losing fat? So meaning, if you're leaner, is it easier to lose fat? Two ways this can be answered, okay? So first of all, if you're in better shape, losing fat to begin with will be a wee bit easier and to sustain. If you're somebody who's really heavy and got a high amount of body fat, you'll drop fat reasonably quicker if you're doing everything correctly, and you'll probably be able to drop a lot more fat quicker for a longer period of time, definitely. But I believe if you're in better shape, so if you're more fit, active, healthy, lots of muscle mass, etc, etc, it will be easier to burn fat, right? Because the more muscle mass you have, the more calories your body burns on a day-to-day basis, which makes it easier to burn fat without going really low on food. Whereas if you're high in body fat, let's just say somebody's obese, for example, odds are somebody who's obese doesn't have much muscle mass unless they really train and really struggle to lose their weight. So I would say it would be easier for a fit and healthier person to burn fat for a longer period of time. That being said, though, somebody who's heavier, fatter, will burn fat a lot quicker to begin if they do everything correctly. And that's going to be it for that video, okay? So I did say I was going to kind of include my back workout, but I actually videoed it all and put it onto my Instagram. So if you want to go check out my back workout to start with, go check it out on my Instagram at Bradleywalkr Fitness, right? And that's going to be the end of this video, right? If you're somebody who's looking to get lean, get shredded, get fucking in the best shape for summer, right, I recommend you go check out the free training guides on my website at bradleywalkrfitness.com. On there's a multitude of free training guides that basically just make getting in shape a fucking shit ton easier, right? It takes all the guesswork out of it for you. It shows exactly what you got to do, how to do it, and how to keep getting results, okay? There's about 5 on there that pretty much will be fucking suited for anybody, okay? So make sure you go check them out, and if you want even more help and guaranteed results, check out my online coaching. Again, you'll find that on my website under the coaching. Bye bye, have a wonderful time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.